Fantasy football is very much back on the menu with a juicy new Premier League season back in our lives this week. Arsenal and Leicester get the 201,718 campaign underway on Friday night ahead of what many expect to be one of the most exciting seasons yet. Not picked your fantasy football team yet? What are you waiting for? Don't let the looks fool you. How does the game work? This year's fantasy football game will be absolutely free for all players to play. The total prize pot is an approximated £750,000. Game weeks will run from Friday to Thursday. £50 million budget on 11 eligible players. Click here to sign up to Dream Team. We've gone through the facts and stats from the last couple of Dream Team seasons to find you 5 players you'll want to avoid, like the bubonic plague, when creating your fantasy team. 1. Olivier Giroud. Arsenal £4 million with the arrival of Alexandre Lacazette this summer. It looks like poor Olivier probably won't get much of a chance this season in the Premier League. Despite scoring one of the goals of the season, Giroud never really got going last term. His Arsenal had a less than flattering campaign. Who scored? Dream Team's ratings provider gave Giroud a lowly 6.81 rating in the Premier League last season, while the majority of the Frenchman's appearances came from the bench. 2. Diego Costa. Chelsea £6 million following Chelsea's signing of Alvaro Morata. It looks like Big Diego is out of favour at Stamford Bridge, as well as being linked with a move away from Chelsea. Costa has been a constant first-team regular and reliable goal-scorer for the Blues since his arrival in 2014, but now faces the axe from Antonio Conte, who scored, gave Costa an impressive 7.41 rating in the Premier League last season. However, it does look like the striker is out of favour at Chelsea and may be on his way out the door. 3. Daniel Sturridge. Liverpool £3 million. It looks as if Roberto Firmino is now Liverpool's main man up front, which may spark the end of Sturridge's stint as a Liverpool player. Sturridge never really gets a consistent run of the games in the league due to him always being on the treatment table, which continues to see him missing for most of the season. Who scored? Gave Sturridge a rating of 6.67 last time out in the Prem, as he made a total of 20 appearances last season, 13 of which came from the substitutes bench. 4. Anthony Martial. Manchester United £3 million. Anthony Martial never really seems to be the star man at United, despite being labelled as the next Thierry Henry when he joined from Monaco for £36 million. The forward has had 2 mediocre seasons at Old Trafford and looks to be out of favour for Jose Mourinho, who scored. Gave Martial a 6.94 rating last season, as he had an average campaign for the Red Devils. 5. Vincent Janssen. Tottenham Hotspur £2.5 million. Janssen was a complete flop for Spurs last season after he was bought as backup for Harry Kane. The Dutchman signed for £18 million from AZ Alkmaar but couldn't manage to get a significant amount of goals last season. Who scored? Gave Janssen an abysmal 6.34 rating last season, and with Kane on top form, it's unlikely Vinny will be able to wriggle his way into the starting 11. How does fantasy football work? The setup for Dream Team is quite simple. As a manager, you get a budget of £50 million to spend on your team of 11 players. Game weeks will run from Friday to Thursday this season, and you'll be allowed to transfer out players who have already played in the game week. Each manager gets a maximum of 3 transfers a month, so it's important to pay attention to upcoming fixtures. And if the incentive of beating your mates in our mini-league system isn't enough, there's a whopping £750,000 prize pot at stake too. Which fantasy football team names are the most popular? Team names have become almost as important as picking winning sides in recent years, with the punnier the better the general consensus. So whether it's Giroud Sandstorm, Neville wears Prada or Teenage Mutant Ninja Skirtle, check out our foolproof list to help you decide who are the best bargains. While we'd all like to be able to pick a team of superstars, that £50 million budget means you also need to have an eye for a cheeky bargain. This season there are quite a few intriguing options available, with Vincent Kompany £3.5 million and Ander Herrera £3 million, both at eye-catching prices. In attack, West Ham new boy and Manchester United favourite Javier Hernandez is £3.5 million, which seems like pennies for guaranteed goals. You can stay up to date with all the latest fantasy football news with our Fantasy Football Live blog and sign up to Dream Team for next season below. Dream Team transfer tips. Keepers.